Good evening and welcome to Lagos. I am Adegboyega Labiro thanking you for joining us. Lagos State Governor-elect Babajide Sanwo-Olu has assured of his commitment to improve the living standard of all residents of the state through an all-inclusive governance model. The governor-elect spoke at the Lagos State office of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) shortly after receiving a certificate of return from resident Electoral Commissioner Sam Olumekun. He also thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for showing leadership example of what the APC stood for and for winning Lagos State. Reiterating his commitment to all-inclusive administration, the governor-elect said his doors were already open to stakeholders, including the opposition, to make their contributions to governance. Sanwo-Olu was accompanied by his wife Ibijoke, his deputy Obafemi Hamzat, Lagos State APC chairman Tunde Balogun, among others, commended INEC and other apparatus of government involved in the election for their hard work. He promised to reenact the true greatness of Lagos, for which the stakeholders stand for. A cross-section of Nigerians have reacted differently to failure of the executive arm of government to release adequate funds for federal agencies for the execution of developmental projects as revealed by the Senate. ITV's Faith Agbetuya reports that Lagos residents expect a change in the method of 2019 budget implementation.
In reaction to the Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed's defense of his ministry's 2019 budget before the panel, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Information, Suleiman Adokwe, explained that the 2018 budget was poorly implemented and releases for capital projects were quite low. Adokwe had noted that the 2018 budget implementation was not encouraging enough, adding that capital releases should improve the system and put more money in the country's economy. Speaking with IATV News, some respondents bared their minds on what they expect the 2019 budget to look like and asked for better management of the funds released by the federal government.
If you go through the budget of Nigeria, you find out that a lot have been set aside to tackle the day-to-day activities, but the implementation has always been the problem in Nigeria. So in the 2019 budget, if the government can at least implement 90% of that budget, I believe Nigeria will be a better place to be.
Like before, we had so many promises, we have so many figures on so many budgets. And all these things are existing on pages of newspaper. The reality is not there. But this time around, what I expect from federal government of the day is to make sure they deliver at least 65 to 70% of their performances.
The problem is management of the fund. That's just it. Okay, it's not, because the more they are giving, the more the money may be squandered. Let them manage what is given to them for now, and when it is seen, when what is going on is good, more money can be added.
The Information Minister, who explained that the 2018 budget implementation performance was better than that of 2017, also pleaded with the Senate to appropriate without adjustment the entire 6.121 billion naira allocated for the 2019 fiscal year. Faith Agbetuya, IATV News, Lagos.
Osun State Governor Gboyega Oyetola is advocating conscious efforts towards the development of the steel sector. Oyetola was speaking at the inauguration of a metal recycling company and copper rolling mill in this state. He said part of efforts of the government was to encourage the people through creation of enabling environment for industries to spring up. The governor said with the inauguration of the steel company, more youths will be taken off the streets, just as the economy of the state will improve.
If government can help us in fast-tracking the process of releasing title document or processing title document, it will help entrepreneur in accessing loans from us. Because there are some loans with BOI, any loan less than 10 million, we don't collect collateral.
The indigenous companies, their taxes should be different for expatriate companies. Please let the government see something to, do something for.
Meanwhile, the people have called for tax holiday as a relief for indigenous entrepreneurs. The location of the steel company is expected to discourage rural urban drift in the area.